Using porn to numb your feelings. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh, neuroscientist and sex addiction coach. In this video, I want to share with you what and why you are numbing in the first place. Then secondarily, what is going on in your brain when you feel that numbed out feeling. And thirdly, what you can do instead so that you can heal your brain from porn and ride off into the sunset. Okay, so let's dig in. Number one, what and why do you keep going back to porn to feel that numbing feeling? So let's just characterize it for a second. When you go into the screen and you consume pornography, it numbs your brain out. And that feeling is taking you away from the present. So it's a form of dissociation and a form of escapism. So it's being used to escape the reality that you're in and to take you into a distorted, albeit unreality, of fantasy for a while. So I get it, because the human condition can be a challenging one for sure. But think about what you are running away from. Why are you using porn to numb? What is it? So generally speaking, for most people, it's one of two things. It's either repressed feelings and emotions from the past, especially those having to do with trauma. So there's big T traumas, big T's, that big T like a capital T on trauma, meaning that there's sexual abuse, there's physical abuse, there's something major that happened to you, and that creates a trauma response in the brain and the nervous system that makes you want to go into something to feel numb so you don't have to deal with those feelings. There's also small T traumas. So if you're thinking to yourself, I don't have any of those really big traumas that I hear about. I've never been abused. My life was fairly decent growing up. I have nice parents. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't awful. Small T traumas can just be not being seen or feeling different from your family every single minute of every single day. So neglect can fall into this category. Family dysfunction. All families have dysfunction. It's just a matter of magnitude and flavor. And so depending upon how that dysfunction impacted your nervous system, it may have made it that you went into porn from a young age to feel better about the chaos of the world that you were experiencing then. And you may have held on to that as the habit that you go into to feel good, even though your circumstances have changed. So that's the past, feelings and thoughts about the past that still make you want to run into the screen. Secondarily, it might be the way you're living your life currently. And people reach out to me all the time, which honestly I think is sad and devastating, saying like, lady, stop talking about your happy life with your family and your hubs. Not everybody can have a happy life with work that they like and with a partner that they like and with people that they like to hang out with and hobbies that they enjoy. And I'm here to, challenge that distorted thought system. Everybody can have that. And my life is far from perfect, but it's highly enjoyable, and I've got the bad, but I bring the bad along with the good, and I see them all as learning opportunities. So the idea is I am in a relationship that's fantastic. I have to work at it all the time, but because I work on it, I enjoy it. We crack up all the time. We have a really good time together. I actually was thinking about this because I went to Nashville with a big group of my friends and my hubs. Still wearing my Nashville stuff here. So we were hanging out and I was looking at all of the couples that were with us, and none of them have perfect relationships, but I was thinking about how each one of them was actually enjoying each other's company, and then we were enjoying being in the group too. And, so it's not just me. I surround myself with people who, they're working on their relationships and they're enjoying each other and they are working through the difficult stuff to get to the good stuff. And we're all there doing things that we love with people that we enjoy being with, doing our hobbies, and we all are working on work that's important to us because we've chosen to do that. We're creating that. And you can stay with me because I'm making another video right after this one on how to navigate the world to create the life that you want from a neurological standpoint. You can do it. So if you're living in a life that you go to a job that you hate, and then you come home to a partner you barely enjoy interacting with, and then you never do your hobbies, that's a buzzkill. I'd want to run and escape that also. It creates the need to go into the screen to feel numb, to not have to feel the stress and the anxiety and the overwhelm of the day. So usually it's one of those two things or a combination of those two things. So let's move on to number two. Number two is what's going on in your brain when you go into the screen and you feel that numb feeling. That is the dopamine deluge. So when all that dopamine floods your system, there's so much all at one time that it floods your system out, and it takes all that thinking speed and all that stress and anxiety, and it takes it down so much that you feel completely numb. You couldn't even have a thought if you wanted to. So what it does is it's flooding your system and it's taking your brain out of what's called hyperarousal. Too much of go, 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 think, 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 do, do, do. And it takes it all the way down to the lowest levels of neurological low arousal. So you are just chilled out. It's taken you from hyper to hypo. And I see it on people's Muse brain graphs all the time. You can see it. If you have the Muse headband, you can look. And if you're up at 3% calm, and then you watch porn and you're at 97% calm, that's you artificially regulating your brain out of hyperarousal, unfortunately, into too much hypoarousal, which will give you brain fog. It'll make it difficult for you to focus. It'll make it so that you feel more anxiety once that dopamine's out of your system. It creates depression because you're running so low. It creates lots and lots of problems when you're artificially bringing your brain into this numbed out mode. So number three, what do you do about it instead? So if you're running into the screen, or you're walking, or you're tippy-toeing, however you're doing it, going into the screen, be aware that you are using that numbing feeling to disassociate by using chemicals in your brain like an internalized drug addiction. So you're basically, shooting that into your system so that you feel numbed out. It's escapism. So the key to success, again, is twofold. Lots of twos in this video. It's twofold in that you have to retrain your brain to find dopamine in your world. That's why when I tell you to get on purpose in your life, work should be dopamine producing, but it also should have serotonin. Remember, dopamine is the pleasure-seeking neurochemical. It's insatiable. It will never let you stop seeking pleasure. But when you combine it with serotonin, the happiness neurotransmitter, which lingers around longer, think about if you view a sunset, you feel good, it's lower key, but it creates happiness. That's what you're looking for in your work, in your relationships. And when it comes to relationships, there's oxytocin, the neurochemical for connection. It makes you feel unified with the people in this world, with your comrades, with your family, with your friends. You feel connected. It's the neurotransmitter of connection. It's the opposite of escapism. So when you go into your work, in your relationships, in your hobbies, you get that instead. It's the perfect neurochemical cocktail. It's not the Kool-Aid. The dopamine's the Kool-Aid. It's artificially dyed red, and it's terrible for you. And you should really only have a sip of it, if anything. So what to do is find dopamine in the world. Then, at the same time, realize you don't want to escape. You need to approach those feelings. So figure it out. What's going on in your life? What needs to be engaged with? Approach and engage. Take care of the stressors and alleviate them or reduce them. So if your relationship isn't doing it for you, time to communicate. Time to talk to each other and figure it out. If your work isn't doing it for you, it doesn't mean you quit. It means you make a plan to get into that profession that you've been dying to do for your whole life. You can do it. And when you do it, you're going to feel so good and get those hobbies going again. And at the same time, if you have trauma in your past, realize you have to stop numbing it to be able to feel those feelings. when you feel those feels, and you have to be able to sit with them and go, oh, that hurts. But when you move through resolving past traumas, they leave your nervous system. And trauma creates neurorigidity. It locks your brain up in the mode that needs to go back into the screen. But when you resolve the traumas and you process them and you integrate them, it leaves your system and it creates more neuroplasticity so that your brain is more changeable and you're able to improve your brain performance pattern, heal your brain from porn, and have the life that you've always wanted. And that is what I want for you. That's why I'm here. So stay out of the screen. No more numbing. It's damaging your brain. Get on purpose in your life, find the dopamine in the world, and do the work you need to resolve the dysfunction, the neglect, the traumas of the past, so you can be the you that you want to be and have the life that you have. Okay, I hope that helps you out. And if you're looking for help on this journey, please go to drtrishleigh.com. I am here to help you. I have programs of different shapes and sizes, and I'd love to be on your journey with you. Okay, until next time, control your brain or it'll control you.